Hello everybody, I'm Harold.
And I'm Chloe, and this is Nature's Friends. Today we're going to show you how to can tomatoes.
First you take your tomatoes, we use it, this is actually a fish cooker, but it's great for parboiling your tomatoes. We take them, we've got our water boiling on the cooker, we drop them in there, and you let them boil, you let them cook until the skins start cracking on them. And when the skins start cracking, that makes them peel easy, and you don't hardly get no waste whatsoever with them. So in a few seconds, that'll be peeling, and we'll show you. Okay, the tomatoes are starting to crack. You can see them. We're going to take them over and put them in this tub of cold water. And then Chloe and I are going to peel them and get them going.
A little hot. Ooh.
Always cut the core out. When you first go in there, they're very hot. Then you quarter them and put them in your pan.
It's a little hot.
Yeah. See how the peeling just peels right off of them?
Steaming.
And all the debris that we have, of course, goes back to compost to grow next year's. We just continue this process until we get them all done. You make sure you get all the peeling off. And the riper your fruit, the better they look in the jar and the better they taste. And then once we get them all done, we'll show you how we pack them in the jar and process them in the pressure canner. We'll be right back.
So you just
Okay, we're still processing.
Peel it off.
Some people say they peel them and don't boil them like we do. When you do that, you waste an awful lot of tomato.
And when cutting the core, I just cut a tiny circle so you're not wasting a lot of the tomato.
You make sure the knife don't go through and poke a hole in your hand.
Just like that.
And don't get messed up and throw peelings in your finished product. In the wintertime, when you make your soups, you can make your homemade salsa with it, but later we're going to show you how to make a tomato that you can make your salsa with. Depending on your tomato, the little core can be a little bare. We never had figured out how many tomatoes it takes to make certain quarts and certain amounts. We always have extra jars, and we're going to cold pack these and cook them in the pressure canner. Okay, we've just got through doing some earlier this week, and I'm going to estimate this amount of tomatoes right here when we get finished is going to make about, I'm going to say 5 quarts. It'll be interesting to see. You'll find out in just a little bit if this amount makes 5 quarts or not. Okay?
Now we're back and we're going to start taking the tomatoes, not the juice, and just putting the tomatoes in the jars. So like we're packing tomatoes in the jars.
And I'm still guessing on 5 quarts. That's perfect, Chloe.
Now just pour a little juice.
Put one more tomato. Okay. we found that if you don't add a whole lot of juice to it, you don't get that separation after they're canned. One more plate. Your hand fits in there perfect.
Yes, it does.
Women fuss at me a lot of times because Harold leaves them in a little bit bigger chunks. That's perfect, Clay. We may try an experiment when we get finished here too. Your hand fits perfect.
About to go through.
Don't get it hung like a monkey in a jar of jelly beans. Well, this is our 5th jar.
So we'll see if it fits here. Okay. I think it's going to be right at 5 jars.
That's going to be perfect.
Look at that.
Okay, now we're going to put us a teaspoon of salt in each one of them.
And what's the salt do?
It gives it flavor and I think it helps preserve it.
Okay.
The other day we was doing the canning and we'd already put the lids on it. And remember we forgot the salt. But caught it in time though. Okay, now let me get the lids and a towel to wipe the tops off and we'll put them in the pressure canner.
Now we're going to start wiping off the edges of the lid and then put the lids on. See?
Put the lids on.
A little hot over here.
Okay.
Ow. Oh.
I didn't bring our little gadget out.
Ow.
I should have had Chloe. They were pretty hot.
We're pretty hot.
And we tightened these down good and tight. So we did wind up with 5 quarts.
Exactly, 5 quarts and some leftover juice.
Chloe likes to drink the juice. Okay, now we're going to put this in the pressure canner and process it, and we'll show you that and tell you how long we pressure. Okay, now we got them in the pressure canner. We've only got 5 quarts of product, and this thing holds 7. So we put 2 jars in here and fill it full of water, so that keeps everything from bubbling around and busting inside the canner. Now we're going to light this up, put the lid on, and we're going to bring it to 15 pounds of pressure, and then we turn it off when it hits 15 pounds, and then let it cool down, and then we take them out. So we just go to 15 pounds and turn it off. Okay, when you pressure canning, you watch your pressure, and you always stay close to it. Now we're up to 5 pounds on the gauge, and then when we get to 15 pounds, we just shut it off. That's all it needs. But if we did this in a hot water bath with the regular canner, we would can them for like 20 minutes in a hot water boiling bath. But now we're just using the pressure canner. We have one. If you don't have a pressure canner, you can use a regular canner and just process them, boil them for 20 minutes. We just watch them here. And you always keep your eye on your gauge. And when you get to 15 pounds, then you just turn it off. Okay, now we're at 15 pounds of pressure. We're going to turn the heat off and let it set. And what you never want to do with a pressure canner, and I've did it before, but you're not supposed to, and I don't do it anymore. It's all part of the cooking process. Don't run cold water on top of this to cool it down fast, because you drop the pressure too fast and you can bust your jars in it. So you just walk away from it, get you a glass of ice water, a glass of tea. Then when all these little pop-offs, you got this pop-off and that pop-off. When they start falling down, then you watch your gauge. Then when it's down to 0, you just take this off, and then you can open it up. But never open it up until there's no pressure whatsoever on it. And we'll show you what the product looks like in just a minute. Pressure's off. You always test. You just take that up, and you notice no pressure. All your little pop-offs are down. So then, take the lid off.
They are pretty. Look at that.
And we set them on here to cool and seal. And we're hoping we don't get much separation in the tomatoes and the juice. Okay, that's 5 quarts of canned tomatoes. Until next time, I'm Harold.
And I'm Chloe. If you have any questions, email us at naturesfriends@barkmill.com.
Bye-bye, y'all.